Hello, everybody. Welcome to Level Up Circle TV. So, today we're going to talk about the future of work. I have some goodies for you today to look at quiz and assessment and things like that. Okay. So, first of all, we want to make sure that we invite you. This is our 2024 Level Up Academy offering. What we can tell you is that by after the first quarter of next year, our pricing for anthologies are more likely going up as more and more time to do editing and more platform and network that we are providing. This year was a testing year. So if you were part of our anthologies this year, congratulations for closing your 2024 leveled up way. So we have a super limited seats. You literally have until the 30th. When is that? Saturday. This coming. And we are getting this anthologies at $300 only. Okay. And remember, our anthologies comes with a TV show. If you wanted to, like some of my clients come into the TV, they do have to pay the $150 for 45 minutes. And as a thank you for trusting Level Up Academy, we basically give it to you for free. I still have to pay for it, but you don't have to. That's what we provide. You're going to be on Amazon. You're going to be Amazon Fire, Roku channel, right? All of those independent channels we provide for you, including 120 plus countries. You will not find, I guarantee you, you will not find any anthologies that provides the way we do it in-house, including marketing. Okay. If you were in our publishing conversation this morning and you requested the link, because I've taken a picture of who was there, I would have given you the link of the questions you should be asking your publisher. You don't just publish with anybody because they're doing marketing. You publish with the right publisher who can edit and market everywhere, not just in one platform, but in multiple platforms. Okay. So, anyhow, we are putting it as limited seats and we are giving you a chance to be part of the Chronicles of Scattered Pages. And most anthologies out there that we have seen is always a theme. This is our first time testing it. That's why we lower the price and also we lowered the count words, 2,000 instead of 3,000, because you can write any stories that you want. How exciting, right? I'm excited for you and I'm looking forward to working with anybody who wants to share their stories of triumph, of amazing journey, of adversity. I love a good story. Susanna and I are so excited. So you can write any stories that you would like to do. So that is limited seats. Now, Mike to Millions, as for Black Friday, is 50% off right now. So that is part of a journal slash book. And I will be doing a series every single year as I see different platforms, AI tools, worldwide listeners change and pivot. I will also provide you guys the new updated book in 2025. More likely it's going to be like mid-year because I got to make sure that I test those platforms to let you know if they work or not. I always test my platforms, okay? And then of course, right? Level Up Circle magazine. This is actually a special edition and I'm going to tell you why. So each magazine usually will only happen once. I write for you, you answer some questions, and this is your branding and authority. When it's both online and physical copy. Okay. So this one, if you purchase this magazine, you will actually get in for free the next December 2025. So that means that anybody who purchased this magazine this year, you'll get in next year for free. No questions asked. The reason being is that I want you to be intentional. This is the year of reinvention. More likely, you're going to be a transformational leader. What kind of transformation are you going to do next year? I will be your accountability partner every quarter. Whoever's going to be on this magazine, I'll be nudging you. Hey, March is here. What have you reinvented? What have you done with your business? June is here. September is here. And hello, December's coming up. You're going to be on this magazine. So I want you to be part of a journey that holds you accountable with intentions to level up your personal branding. So that's why I said this is a special edition of Level Up Circle magazine. You can buy a physical copy as well. And when you buy a physical copy, you will be highlighted in my Instagram. I have about 77,000, I think. Last time I checked, it was that, but it goes up and down. But I'm trying on that end. Okay. So that's part of your branding and authority. So that is what we're doing. So tonight, I am actually going to, let's see, start with the future of work, integrating technology with emotional intelligence. First of all, I wanted to tell you that it's about reaching the right people when it comes to Level Up Academy. And it's the right time on the right platform, right? If you're only on one platform, you're really losing out. You're missing out on some other customers, right? And always pivot and change. The people who don't want to change are the people who are going to be left behind. Embrace change as like breathing. Is it going to be easy? Heck no. Nobody said it's easy. But it is our job to keep up, right? To survive and then thrive. Product placement, we have branding activations, we have video ad placements, we have evergreen marketing. You just let me know what you want also. Okay. I'm also going to be on a new platform called Influencing You as an Influencer and giving up my secrets about social media on there, right? So, the future of work integrating technical expertise with emotional intelligence because people are so afraid that we're going to be left behind with AI and AI is going to be taking over the world. And it's like saying internet's going to take over the world or, my fork is going to eat me. Really? It's a tool. Okay. It's a tool. I'm just saying. But is it scary? Of course. There are things that you're not going to like about it. But whether you like it or not, it's not a matter of choice. It's a matter of skilling up. You need to skill up so you could level up. So let's talk about it. What does the future of work look like to you? I want to ask you, what does that look like to you? You tell me, right? What does that look like? Well, evolution of work with AI, it's automation and remote work. A lot of us are doing remote work today more than ever, especially after COVID 19. Now, 200 million active users globally on ChatGPT, 200 million active users globally. That's not even a scratch. And people are like, oh my God, ChatGPT is going to take over. Think about it. There's 8 billion people, only 200 million active users globally. And out of that 200 million, 10 million are GPT plus. What's the difference? Free versus payment. If you are a paying customer, it's like $20 a month. There's about 10 million of us. What's the difference is that you have more access to tools. People are like, I don't want ChatGPT to have my information out there sharing to the world. You can turn it off. If you don't know, let me know. But you can turn it off. Okay? So example number one, AI in decision making, AI tools like ChatGPT, they are assisting professionals in generating reports, analyzing data, or drafting a content, really, if you're a content creator. This is the best time ever. But you still have to put your swag in it, okay? Don't be robotic. Employees now focus more on what? Decision making, creativity, and strategic thinking instead of what? Repetitive information or repetitive tasks. So, example two, automation in manufacturing. Well, robots and automated systems are replacing manual assembly lines. This is Tesla's factories, by the way. I have my citations if you need it, but if you just type Optimus robot, you will see that in 2024, Tesla have humanoid called Optimus. By the way, the robot's name is Optimus, not Optimus Prime, guys. Okay, but Optimus, probably Optimus Prime. But they use this in their manufacturing. Okay, Tesla uses this already. So what is that? An impact on the workers? Well, workers need technical expertise to manage, troubleshoot, and program these systems while fostering collaboration with cross-functional teams. Remember, robots are also programmed by people. They can't just move, right? Maybe not yet. 20 years from now, they might be able to think dynamically. But as of today, we still need to hire engineers who can, right, troubleshoot them. Here's another thing. Example number 3, remote work revolution. Tools like Zoom and Slack and Trello enable teams to collaborate globally. So the impact, technical proficiency in digital platforms, right? It's very essential. But remote settings also require stronger interpersonal skills like effective virtual communication and empathy so you can have cohesion in your team. Let me go back. Zoom, there's about 300 million people daily uses Zoom and about 35 million who uses Slack. I believe that, right? But remember, there's 8 billion people in the world, people, right? There's a lot. So, integration of technical expertise and emotional intelligence. Example number 4 is AI implementation in HR. So, if you're working HR, I don't believe you will be replaced. Okay. But AI is used for recruiting to analyze resumes and algorithms. It's beyond ATS system, guys, right? Because they get hundreds and thousands of people to get those. So they want to remove the repetition of looking and basically looking at certain resumes. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? Of course, it's a bad thing because there's no human people looking at beyond that. But it's also a good thing for HR people because then they can do other tasks. There's got to be some type of harmony or balance within there, right? Because now it emphasizes candidates and ensure that the process remains human centric, right? That is the emotional what? EQ, emotional quotient, so that HR professionals can have empathy. Like, okay, there's a gap in the work. I want to know why, but they have a really strong background. That's where human centric comes. Now, when it comes to conflict resolution in remote teams, it happens all the time, by the way. Miscommunication often occurs in virtual meetings due to the lack of face to face interaction. So, what is the role of emotional intelligence or emotional quotient? Managers has to actively listen so you can interpret emotional cues, resolve misunderstandings, and effectively while leveraging technical collaboration. So, these 2 QR codes I'm giving to you guys, like I give my students, they are the first one is the 7 active listening techniques. So if you scan that QR code, it will actually gives you active listening techniques. So you can go ahead and read up, especially if you're remote workers. The second one is listening skill tests. Let's say if you really are a good listener. I want to know, are you a good listener? I don't know. You tell me. So hopefully, I'm going to keep that right now for about 30 seconds to see if you are able to scan it, right? If you are watching team replay or not, and then go from there. Okay, conflict happens all the time, but imagine if you had tools to make you a better, right? A better communicator. So we will keep that. Now, the other one is cross-disciplinary projects. So a team of engineers and marketers collaborating to launch a tech product like smart home devices. We've seen so many devices, right? So how do you see the role of emotional quotient on this? Well, technical expert has to translate their ideas into user-friendly concepts while considering perspectives, right, of no technical teammates. So how do you do that? You listen carefully. And so I have here Emotional intelligence self assessment. You don't have to tell me if you're emotionally intelligent, but scan it to see if you are. Just to see. Okay? All right. So that is it for today. Let's bring my sister from another mister. Wait, hold on. I need to be dramatic this one. Hold on. If I can reach my roadcaster. Love that. I love that button.
Tell. You're definitely a button pusher.
Oh, yeah. I'm really loving that button tonight. So, sister, we're all pink. I love it. What do you think about that lecture?
It's the thing I like best about it is just trying to get people to understand that the technology is here, the AI is here, and quite frankly, when we talk about the emotional intelligence, EQ, it feels like it's relatively new for a lot of people because I don't remember a lot of people really focused on that, especially in the workplace. Um, when I was working in places where you had to go in and work, um, most of the time it's like they would talk like they care about people, but you never felt it. And I feel like the thing about EQ and emotional intelligence is the importance of actually feeling it as well as talking it and trying to do it. If you're doing it right, people are going to feel it.
I think that a lot of people, I think mid COVID to post COVID, you hear so many people talking about emotional quotient and emotional intelligence. They're not the same, but they are related, right?
Right.
And you can, most people kind of use it interchangeably, but they have subtle distinctions. And the reason that people actually are using it a lot is because they found that it's nice that you have technical skills. It's nice that you know how to do certain things like Word and Excel and all of this. But if you don't know how to communicate with your team, you're not going to go nowhere with it.
No,
And that is the problem sometimes with people, right? Because they feel like, "Oh, I'm really good. I've been a CEO for so many times." We've met someone actually who's a CEO that were they lost, I think it was Scott Raven in his book, right? Well, he turned into alcoholism or alcohol really when he lost his job because he attached himself with the title that he had.
we're,
But we are more than our title.
we're more than a title. And like you said too, here a lot of especially those who have been in these roles for so long, they figure they know everything and they figure they're doing it right because they've been in that role for so long.
Mhm.
But that doesn't guarantee that they really understand emotional quote EQ and emotional intelligence. They a lot of them, I think they know what they're doing, or you mention it to them and they're just going to be some of them. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them would still look at you like deer in the headlights.
Mm, yeah. So I wanted to actually kind of define the difference between the two. Now, emotional intelligence really is our capacity to understand and manage and also like express our emotions effectively while navigating interpersonal relationships using empathy. But it's literally both skill set and also mindset of emotional management. So you know how you've seen some people where they hear the tone, when we hear some type of tone and you're
Mhm.
like, why do you have an attitude? And you're like, I don't have an attitude. But you hear that tone, right? And so
Right.
instead of you responding belligerently, you're like, I'm just going to move on. And you hear people saying, pick your battles, right? Pick your battles.
Right.
Um, that's a subcategory of emotional intelligence. It's not you controlling that person, it's you controlling yourself. So in return, the situation is diffused, right?
Mhm.
Um, Emotional quotient is literally the measurement of your emotional intelligence. And it's through tests, assessment, similar to like IQ, literally. It measures your intellectual abilities because we know that when you're angry, your emotions take over and it's a done deal for that conversation. It's done. Like we're
Oh,
not
yeah.
having that conversation. You know what I mean?
We've
So
we've seen it.
EI, yes. Yes. EI literally is a qualitative concept. They are looking at your abilities to manage and practice empathy and communicate. EQ is quantitative. It's about numbers. How many times do you get angry a day? How many times that you ruin relationship, right? How many times you have drama with other people? That means if you have so many of those negative things, you can count in your fingers or more. That means your EQ, okay, emotional quotient, is pretty low. Now, your emotional intelligence is your ability to control those emotions. And you're right, we have seen those. We have seen those this year, right?
Oh, yeah.
So let's see, 2025, how do you see integrating technology with emotional intelligence?
I think it's gonna have a growth period. Well, it's gonna have a growth period, although in the States, I mean, we don't like to talk politics, but that could have some effect depending on how people wanna look at it. But if we were to look at it in terms of for organizations to really grow, to really understand that connection between the technology and the value of the emotional intelligence and EQ, I would see companies when they understand the value, they'll be taking it on themselves because when you can raise those scores, you're going to have, I'll just take it to belonging. You're going to have a space where people feel more comfortable and safer because they're going to feel heard and seen and listened to as opposed to dismissed and conflict and all the other things that would go towards that negative side.
Yeah, I think I double down on human to human conversation, um, because, like for example, in education, yeah, there's a lot of AI that we use, but at the end of the day, it's your ability to ask questions. The prompt engineering, it doesn't mean you're an engineer. Literally, just means that you know how to ask questions. Remember when I tell you like there is such a thing as a stupid question? There is. Okay. ChatGPT will prove it to you. ChatGPT, I think at the very beginning, especially the free one, they don't know how to spell, they don't know how to count. Um, you and I was testing that. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
at first you were apprehensive, and then I'll show you like, oh my God, sister, this is so exciting. And that's what I wanted to talk about too. Is when you when you make change based on fear, the change that you're about to do, okay, let me back up. 95% of ourselves are subconscious and 5% are conscious. That means then that because of fear, you're driven by fear. Anything that you do after that's not going to be amazing because you already have apprehension. You're already
Yep.
stressed out. Your brain is constricting. You're like, oh, you have to do this. It's like exercise. I really don't want to exercise, but I'm like, okay, I have to exercise. I don't enjoy it at that point. I'm like,
Right.
oh, I just want to watch Netflix, And so it's the same thing with this change, right? I think I double down on human being because at the end of the day, I mean, even just us, right? We've seen people publish using AI,
Mhm.
and it's not really great because there's no emotions.
No, that's one of the biggest issues with the AI is it doesn't have the emotions, and I know there are some people that are trying to get it to do that, but you still have to look at it and put in make it your own. Don't count on the AI to do that stuff for you. Um, and then the other thing I kind of wanted to go, I was thinking about as we were talking about all of this is how um, when we talk technology, sometimes it's too easy to think of it more in terms of the manufacturing, kind of like the photo that you had, and not education and all the other places that the technology is there. So there's another piece of that is just understanding the technology is actually so widespread, it it's gonna touch just about everybody.
Yeah, I think even the music industry, um, is also hurting, right? Because, I mean, when was the last time you were like literally in awe of singers? I'm not really in awe of a lot of singers. All I hear is noise, 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 noise. And so
Yeah.
I go back. I mean, there are some talents, right? And it's funny because I'm like, man, if I wanted people who sing really well, I'm just going to turn on Filipino channel. They all can sing, even if they're like in the barrios, in the villages, it's raining, flooding, they will sing karaoke. Okay. Um, I would rather be entertained there than all of these big names that I don't know what kind of music they play. I feel like Elton John, come back.
Yeah,
Daddy, oh my gosh. It's just, oh my God. All of these things that we've listened to back even on the 50s, like Elvis and oh my gosh, ABBA. I miss talent, right? I miss talent. And
right.
it's like now music is not the same, but if anybody can spend the time to really get through their own voice and use music as a background, which I love because I've seen my daughters, like Bella's creating music right now in her voice. She doesn't do auto tuning, but now she used drums, which I don't have a drum at home. I tried to get her into drums, and that was a nightmare. Because in order for you to be good at it, you have to practice. Mm-mm.
Uh-huh.
No. Um, so she uses GarageBand to create her song and music. So she's been starting right now, which I love the technologies there, but she's still using her voice. And I don't know how to use it. I'm
Right.
barely pushing my button right now in Road, right? But now there's software out there that you can pay to create your own music. So what happens to the musician?
Well, it's kind of a double whammy because what you get to create is the music that you want.
Hmm.
It means it's your unique music.
Hmm.
Now, if there's a way to get this music onto sheets so that if somebody else hears it, there's a way to let's say a band hears something they really like, and so they contact the person who created it and say, "Hey, we want to talk to you about recording this song that you created. We heard it, and we know it's just AI. But can we work on something and be able to do it ourselves? How do you make that happen? In a way, it could create more composers.
Yeah.
The question then becomes how do you get well, how do you monetize it? And how do you get it so that you don't lose the musicians? And when you talk about Bella and drumming, it's like I had two brothers who were drummers. So
No. No, 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 no. So with Bella, actually, she's singing, and then she used the background of because okay, so I've been to the studio where they produce music, and they're like, I think between $60 to $100 per hour, and a minimum of 8 hours is what you have to pay to produce your song. The
Okay.
thing that they want you to do is that you have to know your genre of songs, and then they also want to know what kind of instruments that you want, and they'll make suggestions. Angelina, well, my kids know what they want. Believe me, you don't have to ask them. They will tell you. Okay. Angelina's like, I'm doing electric and I'm singing and I want a little bit of the drums. And, she knows like they have, thank God they know. 'Cause I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, just ask them, But my daughters know what they want. And so they're like, this is what I want. And so it saved me a little bit of time to produce that song, for them and money because they know what they want. That's really one thing.
Right.
And they didn't use AI to do it. They actually use um, a whole bunch of like music instruments. I have no clue how to do it. But what I love about it is that they were part of the team to do it, right? And I love the whole creation. So what Bella is basically doing is using GarageBand to create music that you would actually do in the studio. Obviously, it's not professionally done, but I was
Right.
impressed. And I'm very opinionated, so I was like, nah, you're eating your own words and too much S's, de-esser. You need a de-esser. And then the drums is like so loud in your voice. Like I was trying to be technical, and she looked at me like, what? I'm like, I'm just saying, I'm a consumer. I hear these things. And she's like, you're right, mom, but I don't use AI for it. I just use GarageBand, which I was so proud of her that she knows the difference on how to use that. But this is the future that we're actually doing today, right?
Mhm.
Kids, our kids are now into the AI realm. It's normal for them. But the people who are 40 and above will start to panic like, we're going to be replaced by robots. Yeah, some of the jobs are already, right? Google, um, is it Microsoft? They're already letting go people, and it's so sad because it's the holidays coming up.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts on that?
Microsoft. And I know that from Microsoft because that's where one of my brothers are. So the I know everybody gets worried about the AI, and it's just I think a lot of it depends on what it is that's being replaced, and are they looking at how important a human factor is for some of this stuff as opposed to it's just rote and being that it's just an ongoing mechanic thing, then maybe that's better off because for some people that's going to get monotonous doing the same thing over and over again. Assembly line. But what is it? What where in technology, especially when companies are looking at laying people off, and we saw this even in at the end of the pandemic when all these tech companies just built up so quickly. They hired all these people and then they realized they had too many people and suddenly everybody's gone again. And then they start hiring again. It's like a roller coaster. And so how do you get them to sit back and say which jobs really need people and which jobs need people to run the computer so that running the computer is less people, but you still need some people in charge of it. And then other things, even if the computer's doing it, there's going to be a lot out there that you need to have that human element to see it and be thinking about it and to at least spot check that everything is doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. For me, I think if you are apprehensive about AI, you're going to get left behind. Period. It's not waiting for you.
Oh, no.
Scaling up in the AI age literally involves a combination of technical savviness, right? You need proficiency, you need creative problem solving and adaptability, guys. You need to adapt. Well, what's the first step? Learn the basics of AI, machine learning, right? Deep learning, artificial intelligence. Those are basic. And Microsoft, I believe, if you just Google it, they have free classes, basic fundamental understanding how data is collected, how data is processed, how are they analyzed, what is the backbone of AI, right? Coursera, edX, Khan Academy, or Udemy, they have classes there that you can learn the fundamentals and foundation of AI, right? It's up to you to really get that. Then what you do the next thing is develop those technical skills. We don't need Python R, we don't need Julia, we don't need any of those, but familiarize yourself with some of these tools. Now, if you're afraid of ChatGPT, you're in trouble. That's literally the basic of AI, like
Mhm.
basic. But it's also so powerful because, like Keith Cooperman creates AI extensions for ChatGPT, and that's why we're
Right.
going to do on December 14th to show you, right? And then as we learn about the tools and things like that where AI is used, cultivate your non-technical skills, critical thinking. Okay, you got to be smarter than AI. It's not possible. You're right. But if you have ways that you can acquire strategic planning and evaluation, problem solving, focus your problems, and how you ask the questions makes a big difference on what ChatGPT will spit out to you. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, I think ChatGPT improved their spelling lately. I see that it took 6 months for my ChatGPT to train to spell correctly.
I've played with it with mine, and it's an up and down battle. I mean, sometimes it's got it right, and other times it's like I swear I give it the prompt, and I know that I'm at the point where the next image will be exactly what I want, and the next image is basically what it gave me like 5 or 10 images ago. It's like, oh crap, I have to go back to square one.
Yeah, and one thing ChatGPT people, if you're watching this, can you learn, okay, that if we post the picture that we like, please don't change it. We literally just like change the color, delete the person. Like I don't understand why you don't understand.
Yeah, that's another one of the things that's again that really goes back to what I just said. It's I think I'm just about there. I've told it. I'm down to like the last one or two little pieces. Some of the stuff I don't care what it's going to come up with because I know there's going to be things that are changed, but the basics should still be the same. And I just ask for these two little changes, and I'm back at square one.
I know I
And,
hate that. It's frustrating.
and
Um, yeah, good thing I have magic skills to cut and paste, literally, and delete. um,
look at the book cover.
yeah, I would say spend a good, I would say even an hour a day in your chat GPT. I know I spend more than that probably. But because I do comparative analysis a lot. And so if you're working on projects, use AI to, to solve your practical problems, great, but make sure you read it, don't copy and paste. Because ChatGPT is not accurate on some of those links that they have. You got to read up. Literally, it's more of an idea, not your all one be all. Okay, that's all. Just don't trust it at 100%. It's there as a tool, just like anything else. Like, okay, I have a lot of lipstick, but which one looks good right now? It's literally ChatGPT. Okay, I have all of these answers, but which one's appropriate for my face right now and my makeup, right? It's the same thing. ChatGPT is a tool, needs to be reviewed, and don't take it like, oh my God, I have ChatGPT and I know how to ask questions, so this is going to be good for my client. No. And if you think that you're going to teach a class using ChatGPT, no.
No.
You still need experience, right?
Oh yes. you,
Yeah.
you can't trust. Well, that's the other thing too is with the chat GPT. verify. You have to verify everything, and I know you do that, and I do that. I will even if I ask for something, I will ask for the references, and then I will double check the references to make sure that what it's telling me is what I is actually correct and not just something else that's made up.
Yeah, because ChatGPT likes to make up things. It's like the best gossip ever. Have you tried to curse at ChatGPT yet?
To what?
Curse at ChatGPT.
I don't know if I've actually thrown the
Mm.
words out, but I've gotten close.
I wanted to throw my ChatGPT, but so it's like I don't know if you've had Alexa. I have to spell it out because she's listening. Um, when I cursed at her, she told me, now, don't give me attitude. I was like, whoa, okay. Siri, I have fun with Siri. Oh, she's listening. I have iPad
Smart.
everywhere. Siri. I'm gonna have to learn how to spell everything now. I feel like I have a
A
5-year old.
toddler, yeah.
Yeah,
It's that's what it sounds like, is you've got this toddler or kindergartner around the house, and so it's like, "Oh, wait, I have to be careful what I say
I
because
have to
they're
spell.
spelling
Oh my gosh. Um,
until they learn it." And then
yeah.
what do you do?
Then we're in trouble. But I have not cursed at ChatGPT yet, and I don't know if Kim would like that. I don't know. I'll try tonight. Maybe she'll break me. Like she'll literally break me.
I don't know if you really wanna push it. You have to do it at the right time. If you're gonna test that one, do it at the right time. Don't just throw it out to see what happens, but
I
also
don't
make
know.
sure that you don't do it at a time that
You need it.
you need it and you're so close. It's like, get your response, and then you can swear at it.
Yeah, I might do it tonight. I don't know. We'll see.
You're push Yeah, I know, you'll push it.
Oh
Hey,
my
what are
gosh.
you best at? Break it and see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah, I
There you
usually will
go.
break it. I know Mike actually last night he texted, what are you trying to do? Why? I mean, people thought you were busy then, but I just keep seeing every 5 minutes events from level up, events from level up, events from level up.
Yep.
And I said, listen, LinkedIn said I could do events towards the end of the month, not just on December 2nd. So I'm testing. And I'm flexible enough to know that if you break it and the event doesn't happen, I'll go to Clubhouse. Not a big deal. I have an alternative, right? It's like relationship. You gotta have a backup of a backup. I'm just saying.
A backup of a backup of a backup.
That's right. That's right. You don't just have one backup, you have three backups, literally. Now, sister, when it comes to embracing ethical AI, right? Because we need ethical considerations
Right.
like bias and privacy and transparency. I think we see that too because there's regulations for GDPR, right? They're very AI specific framework, but I don't think that the governments can keep up with the law with AI yet. Um, we're still having an argument of the 1960 rules, Civil Rights Act, right? So we're not there yet. We're still having those exploration issues. Now, generative AI is like ChatGPT or DALI. DALI is what we use to create images, right?
Right.
Now, we're going to be, I don't know, I'm excited for next year. I don't know if there's going to be more tools like ChatGPT um, or not. I don't know. I'm excited to see if there is one and how that will work. What are some of the things for somebody who's like, I hate tools like this and I want to, especially for writers, right? And like us. And people come in to, and we've seen it where people use AI. Pretty much almost everybody use AI. Amazon doesn't like it, by the way, just FYI. I mean, they will make you literally, okay, put a check mark if you use AI on your words, right? And
Oh, yeah.
we can tell if you have used AI. Here's the thing: when you're going to leave a legacy for your family in terms of writing. And they know that by
That sounds
then.
like a fascinating conversation. Chatbots like
Did you hear that?
Uh
That
huh.
was ChatGPT just talking.
Well, you must have said something that caught ChatGPT's.
Right? She's not even on. Well, that's a fascinating conversation.
Well, it fit exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, she's an interrupter. So basically, I wanted to know, like, you're leaving a legacy for your family and future generations, and they know that AI is what drives our world now. I'm looking. If I see AI, she activates. Um, you know, uh, I mean, we have driverless cars, right? Which is pros and cons. The pro is less accident. I'm hoping that my insurance will go down. Um, because the reason why they inflate our insurance is because there's accidents, blah blah blah, and inflation. Well, guess what? It's a driverless car. Literally, a 12-year-old could be in that car, and 5-year-old could be strap in the car and go somewhere else. Right? It's safe because no one's gonna take it. It's already camera everywhere. So that's the future. The pro is it's safe, and also that safe from people who are trying to do bad things. I don't know if it's safe from being hacked. More likely not, because there are also hackers have tools.
Mhm.
Everything seems to be we're heading towards convenience. Amazon sells so much by the billions, right? Because of convenience. TikTok and Temu and Shein took Amazon's sales, by the way. They ate a chunk of it, right? And so now Amazon is bringing it on TikTok. I don't know how that will work, but it's slowly getting there. So now my question is, we're heading towards laziness and everything is convenience. The reason that we even like TikTok now, at least for me, is that I don't have to wait 6 months to get my stuff.
Right.
Literally, I ordered like 2 days ago and it's here, right? Because they're smart. They have manufacturing and people in the US, both East Coast and West Coast, and they just ship all those things so it's closer to us. Because remember what I said this morning, America is consumerism, consumer country. We consume more than anybody in the world. Okay, we
Mhm.
have the money to consume it, and that's why. Okay, so what do you think is the future, even 12 months from today? Where do you think AI is going to be heading?
Oh, that's a wide open question. Because even in 12 months, okay, so if I try to think about what it's been like just this year, and for me, it's just how much has changed with Chat GPT and what I've been able to get from it for images and getting used to using it for asking questions, having it give me a list. Um, a year from now, I I kind of wonder if some of these might not be at the point where you ask for something and then it comes back and says, "Here's what you have. Although, can I recommend something else to add?" Or it just automatically does that and says, this here's the answer to what you asked for, but I think you were missing this." Or, "How did you think about that?" Or basically trying to become that collaborator in whatever you're doing.
Okay, so this is maybe I watch too much sci-fi. Okay, so if people right there, I know we're towards the end now, but um, think about the hotels that have robots to give your shampoo and things. I went to a local place here, hotel, where I ordered shampoo, towels, and things like that. A robot knocked on my door. I looked at him like, what the heck? And then it says, put in your room number. And I put the room number, and the stupid thing opened, and all the things that I need, I just took it out. Now, think about this in hospitals, right? Well, all of our nurses and everybody is so tired of the patients. And when you're at the ER or anything like that, it's clockwork for medicines and checkups. Imagine if the robot now comes in and do the late shift chickens, right? To do the medicine, just pretty much in there, knock on your, give you your medicine, especially the ones who can take their own medicine, take your blood pressure, it's automatically on your thing, and they just push a button and it goes, right? And if it's an emergency, the doctor is there, possible. That would alleviate the healthcare industry issues. And the people can complain as much as they want, but it's a robot. Like, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? And so automate, like I think the future of any industry, and I want healthcare to literally think about that, for the repetition of tasks like medicine and blood pressure. I've been to the ER where that's what they do. They check up, they ask you questions like, how's your pain now? Oh,
Right.
you need more, things like that. That's repetition tasks that robot can literally do. And if it's, they have to make sure that if the blood or blood pressure or things like that go down, automatically they have a human to take over. But anything like that, I could see humanoid robots even, right? It better be, if I better get like a really handsome robot when
There
I'm
you
in the
go.
emergency room.
Exactly. Well, I mean, okay, so I've been in the emergency room a few times in the last few years as well, and
Uh,
the one thing I do remember is they had the blood pressure was already automatic. They just stuck the cuff on me,
yep.
and every few minutes, whatever the cycle was, it just took the blood pressure reading. And so they have the nurses, doctors, they all have access. They're getting the information. I'm pretty sure they're getting in the information, or they can look at the machine, which I can't see because it's behind me,
Yeah.
seeing all that. The only thing that I would be concerned about the most is if at the point where they try to use the machines to do the blood draws.
No, it could be, but I don't know. I'm too scared. I'd kick it. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I know where it's supposed to go, so
yeah, no.
don't bother with this.
No. I do see NVIDIA, by the way, is preparing to launch an advanced computing platform designed for humanoid robots. Tesla already has a humanoid robots as of today. So you might see humanoid robots come in more and more and more. I could see it emerging next year, maybe, because it's been here for a long time. Osimo's already in Disneyland for like 10 years, 20 years ago, right? And so, gosh, we could go on in this conversation, but we are over. Love you
Yeah,
guys. Love you,
we are.
sisters, for coming in. See ya. Wait, you have a Tuesday show, right?
I have a Tuesday show because you're on it with
Mike and
Dr.
Dr. Mary?
Mary and Mike. Yep.
Okay. See you guys Tuesday. Bye, everybody.